Mutsumi, you and I, we both work as therapists, and I'd like
Yes.
to learn a little bit more about your chosen ways of working. In our
Mm-hmm.
last method or last interview, we talked a little
Mm-hmm.
bit about body talk. Would you maybe
Yes.
tell us a little bit about how body talk works and how that work goes together with your other methods and other therapies for your
Yes.
clients?
Body talk is a modality that founded by a doctor of a chiropractor, and he's also a doctor of Chinese medicine. His name is John Welton, and he's an Australian guy. And then he has developed this body talk as a method in America. He moved to Florida, and he has told many, many students around the world. And his method were quite accurate at, I mean, about 10, 15 years ago, it was very eye-opening. And
Mm.
today, there are so many different methods. So I think people hear less. For me, because I have this Japanese esotericism teaching, I remember because I was catching up the teaching, I had videos to watch, and when I flew from Taipei to to Japan, I have to uh, watch sometimes 4 hours, 5 hours the video from the founder. So I have almost the impression that I become the my mentor, and his
Oh,
energy is downloading to me. So because you're so obsessed during 4 to 5 hours watching his voice recording, his video, his image, and at the end, I found myself almost like he is me, I am him, we are one. And body talk has a very complicated exam and requirement to get the certificate.
right.
I was living in Thailand, and there's no um, like schools in Thailand. So
Hmm.
I went to Singapore to pass the certificate, but I missed so many essential points because never nobody have ever really told me, and so I was very disappointed. And but there are some different modules you can still learn. So I
Hmm.
flew to New Zealand and met John Weltham personally, and the course was Chinese medicine. So they were talking about Kundalini energy and Chinese medicine. And at that time, I have already learned the Kundalini yoga. So the basic Kundalini theory and the things I know it quite well. So I felt very comfortable going to his class. And he's also teaching the Chinese medicine. Like I speak Chinese, so I also learned the Chinese acupuncture points with the original Chinese character. So he was very pleased also that I could exchange my opinion with him.
Hmm.
And I was traveling, so I stay in the same hotel as him because he traveled from Florida to New Zealand. And then after the class, we had some glass of wine together, and he could sense I was disappointed because I couldn't get the license. And he was very straightforward. He said, Mutsumi, you have this esotericism training. You know how to get tuned in with somebody's energy and become one. And when you need information, you just tune into my blueprint and you will get my energy. I was like, wow, that's so eye opening. and he really boosted me a lot of self-esteem. I realized all the diploma, the certificate is just only a form, but once you tune in with a master's energy, you don't need diploma, you don't need a certificate, because you become your mentor, and your mentor is you, and that served me a lot. I think he really opened my eyes for that, and for this moment, it's not only tuning with human. I have also experienced that tuning with extraterrestrials when I was in Egypt. And that's even more vivid, because the telecommunications and telepathic communications is the essential point of healing. Yeah.
How do you mean? Telepathic communication is the essence or is essential for
Okay,
healing?
so that means they have a much higher frequency. So from a scientific point of view, our cells are only the matter, but the space between cells is 99%, 99.99999% of space. So the energy between the emptiness, the space, and the cells, the energy is much bigger. So if you can get into the empty space, then you can heal yourself, because you can manifest the regeneration of the cells, and to get rid of the blockage of the cells by energy, and then the empty space. So that's the essential healing. For example, in the future, I believe there will be disclosure of the some healing method, and then everything is just by frequency. You can do frequencies and reverse the frequency, and to align the frequency at the same level of the frequency, healthy frequency. Once you get from the lower frequency to the higher frequency, and you can get instantly healed.
So when you are saying telepathic communication, are you talking about helping a client communicate with their own cells, or the emptiness between cells? Are you talking about how?
No, the telepathic is it's between me and my mentors or my masters.
Okay.
It's more like that. But of course, from the hypnotherapy point of view, it's also like telepathically you align with your potential, you align with your subconscious, which you have much more potential than your actual how to say that's how I can explain that.
We've not we, I mean Ernest Rossi and a few other very, very skilled psychotherapists who work with hypnosis. They have been working on psychoneuroimmunology for at least 25 years or so, where your mind can directly affect your immune system. It can help you to boost your white cell blood count. I mean, these are proven facts. I mean, this is not so. Maybe this is telepathic communication with your own body.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe. Yes. And like you have sent me the hypnotherapy by video about to release the pain, and then it works very well. Yeah.
Sure. A friend of mine, Felix, he was joining one of my workshops, and he said, we said, like, it's all mind, it's all about the mind. And I said, well, the mind, and I said that we talked about the mind-body connection. And Felix, he told me, it's like, yeah, but how big is the mind? I spent the next year thinking about that. I spent the next year thinking about that. All right. Now, body talk, I understand there's a little bit of that asking the body. This is why it's called body talk. You're talking to the body. Could you
Yes.
let's say that I come to you and I have a terrible pain in my knee, physical pain, right? But the doctors can't find any problems. There's no neurological problem. There's no autoimmune disease. There is no injury. Let's say I come to you for a body talk session with a terrible physical pain that doctors don't know what to do with. How would we work together? How would that happen?
It's the same thing as I explained, that you have to ask what is the priority if you have the permission for the client. And then you can get into the source. You ask if it's a family, if it's the environment, if it's a emotion, if it's there's a list of questions you can ask, and then the body will show you what is the answer. And then John Weltham also has a series of typing. They call it cortices typing. So it's to put the hands on your skull, and then you type on your on the top of the crown, and then the sacrum, and that also release a lot of pain and stress and emotion. So, and like he has a lot of experience on chiropractic, so he has also some typing for the bones to realign itself or to boost the immune systems. It's quite complicated, the way he teaches. But after all, it's really to release your emotion. Once your emotion get like release, and you let go the blockage of energy in your body, and then you feel much better.
Okay. Yeah. That makes perfect sense, of course. Yeah. And is this now your preferred method of working with people? I know you have studied many different kinds, many techniques, many schools of thought. Is this your preferred method to work with physical pain?
No, I think I don't have any method. I just follow my intuition. If I feel that the person need to get into hypnotherapy, then I will get into the hypnotherapy. If the person need to get into the past life, and then I will guide them to the memory of past life. I don't really believe in the entire past life as a method, but I do believe there's a memory of past life from ancestors. It registered in your DNA, and sometimes I use the shamanic method, is to go down to the underworld and to align with your power animal. So it really depends on the moment and what kind of method I'm using. And I don't think I use mostly body talk method. No, I think I use more these days hypnotherapy, and also because my Buddhism training, I could contact with the deceased ancestors or deceased spirits, and they just pump into my mind. And when you're doing this hypnotherapy, you ask them to relax. For example, yesterday I had a session with a Filipino lady. When I asked her to relax, I felt her shoulder was extremely heavy. So the first intuition I have is her brother. So I didn't say that during the procedure, but after she get into really the theta point, then I told her you have some burden, and then obviously she told me, yes, my brother gave me a lot of headache. So yeah. So
Okay.
it's that kind of procedures that
Yeah.
you feel that the pain goes with some reason or person or age or emotion. It just downloads
Yes.
like this. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So you find yourself interpreting or receiving messages from the body, perhaps on a subconscious level, or perhaps on a spiritual level, on some sort of metaphysical level, that you read, interpret, and feed back to your client, and then that helps them, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Very, very good. Now, I'd like to ask you about a case that I read about, which was quite remarkable. This was about a helicopter pilot called
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
Now, he had a terrible accident and
Yes.
he had damage to his spinal cord, and the doctor said he
Yes.
would never walk again. But
Yes.
there's a happy ending to that story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yes. I received a call from a young guy, and he told me if I'm ready to go to the ICU room in some Tibet hospital for his father. I say yes, but what happened? He say the father participant in the, I think it's the skydiving competition, and he felt really. They estimate around 1,000 meters, but it's going like this, so he's not really directly down. So
Right.
it was lost control, and he not only broke his spine and also the right leg. I remember, and the right leg, the knee, and then the ankle. When I rushed to the ICU room, uh, uh, he has 4 kids. They all
Mm.
flew from Canada, and they all in that tiny little ICU room. And he has asked the doctor to give me permission to go to the ICU room. And then doctor said that he think he will never walk again because it's very serious. So I was with the children, and I say, please pray together with me, and we concentrate on each person concentrate on different parts. I remember I asked the elder one to concentrate on his spine, upper part, lower part, and the daughter concentrate on legs, and then I think the youngest one holding his ankle. And it's funny because the ICU was freezing. They put the air condition really cold. And then we felt the room start to really warm. And then I saw he has red ashes around his body. And then the doctor say maybe it's a reaction with too much anesthesia or medicine. They don't know why exactly. And then when I was getting into prayer, I saw a helicopter crashed really from the sky, and to really very bad crash, and then a big fire exploded, and of course the pilot killed instantly in that crash. And Kim was conscious. I mean, so I asked him, "Did you witness some crash of the helicopter?" And he started to cry. He said, "Yes, my best friend in an aeronautic show, he took the new helicopter, very advanced technology helicopter, and make the show. And something went wrong, and he crashed in front of him, and not more than, maybe I assume not more than 200 meters, and the helicopter exploded, and he couldn't save his life or whatever. And then I say, okay, then we send these pilots to the divine light, and then I started to pray for the soul, and after I think 2-3 days, the rash went out. And the incredible thing is the whole temperature in the room is almost like it's almost too hot. It's almost like we're in the oven. Everybody was sweating, so everybody were almost like experiencing the explosion, the fire, the things. Okay,
right.
And yeah, and then I also did the cortices typing. I don't remember how long I stayed there, maybe 2 hours, and we do a lot of prayer together, and then he has like how do you say that, prosthesis on the plastic things on his feet, but we can see his toe.
Right. So there's a cast or a plaster cast around his leg.
Yes, it's a cast. Yes.
Yeah.
So the cast, and then I saw his toes start moving. I say, oh, try to move your toe, and then the toe start moving a little bit. I say, oh, the nerves are not really damaged. You start to re-establish the connection with the move. And then at that time, the younger doctor came to the room, and I say, you see the toe is moving. He said, no, it's impossible. And I say, but you can see it's moving. And he said, can you come back tomorrow? It's really, really. Yeah, and then after I think I went there 2 or 3 times, I forget. And then after he went back to Canada, and we continue online session, and there were also things revealed that he went for hunting when he was a young boy, and he killed a deer with the father, and then he regretted a lot, and so we also send the animals spirit to the light. And after that, he said that he could start really walking much better. Okay. Yeah, so he came back to see me. He's walking without any walking stick, a little bit wobbling, but he has continued online session for several times.
Right. Yeah. So his ability to heal was hindered by things that he was carrying around and couldn't let go of. Would that be fair to say?
And
yeah, it's quite
I
common,
think also
actually.
because he's divorced, the children had something against him, and then because of this, they all participate during the healing session, so they express the forgiveness, and then express the love for the father. That counts also. Yeah, it's not only me. Yeah, it's not only me. It's all this generated loving energy, and then the willingness to really pray for the father's health. I think that has dissolved a lot of past anger and fear and agonies and conflict. I do think so. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very helpful to have more love, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. That's yes. the answer of the healing.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So there's a lot of cases like that, manifested physical pain and so on. And I believe that in future interviews, we're going to do a few more. We can talk about some other really interesting cases. But for today, I think we could leave it here. We want to keep these interviews a little bit short so that the videos don't take over the internet too much.
Sure.
And thank you so much, Mutsumi. It's been a real pleasure to chat with you. Yes. Enjoy your beautiful Villa du Lac in Hua Hin in Thailand. And I wish you luck with the upcoming workshops. You're having a few coming now soon, right?
Oh, yes, I am very lucky. Yeah. The Chinese New Year is full and until the beginning of February. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Well, I hope you have wonderful time with that, and I will see you soon again. Thank you, Mutsumi.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.